This is our question number 2 on the inequations. There'll be a lot more to come. Number 2 says solve and graph quantity 2x minus 1 factoring quantity x plus 2 less than 0. So if we have product or ratio like this, it's always good to think of a table. I will show you how. But also I would say that if you know the quadratics, you know these are the two roots of the quadratics shown here. So if we take the 2x minus 1, you know the root is x is equal to 1/2, and here the root is equal to x is equal to -2. Let me do it. 2x minus 1 is equal to 0. That shows that x is equal to 1/2. The same way, x plus 2 is equal to 0 shows that x is equal to -2. So we know that, and later in this video I'm going to show you the quadratic it is. But if you look at the factors, if you multiply 2x times x, 2x squared, that means a is positive. That means this quadratic is opening up, and the two roots mark the points where this quadratic is hitting the x-axis. X-axis is y is equal to 0, but we want the values where it is less than 0. That means if we graph it later, we will see that it involves only the values of the curve between the two roots. That's what we're going to show here. So if I take this table here, I note 2x minus 1, I note x plus 2, and if I take -2 here and 1/2 here, we know that these values cannot be there because otherwise it will be equal to 0, so it has to be less than 0 anyway. So let's see, for all values of x less than 1/2, this one will be negative, and here it becomes positive. Okay? The same way, for all values of x less than -2, this one will be negative, and beyond that it becomes positive. Now, if you look at this, we just time them because it's a product. Minus times minus gives us plus. Plus times plus gives us plus. Correct? And now, minus times plus gives us minus. This is our solution here. Okay? Because it is where it is less than 0. So we would say the solution is x belonging to the interval -2 and 1/2, or in some other notations they would just say x belonging to -2 and 1/2. That means -2 and 1/2 are not included. We can verify that. So if we want to graph this on the number line, it will be easy here. This is the representation here on the number line. Okay? We are going to push further, and now we are going to get back to our quadratic and show what we said before. Okay? So let's find our quadratic from this one. Let's say 2x times x is equal to x squared plus 4x minus x, that means plus 3x minus 2, and now we can say 2x squared plus 3x minus 2 is less than 0. So we know that this is opening up, and between the two roots is below the x-axis, is what we are going to prove here. So we know our quadratics. So what we can do is put the 2 in factor here, x squared plus 3/2 of x minus 2 less than 0. And we know what we know, 2 and x plus 3/4 squared, that means minus 3/4 squared, 9/16 minus 2 less than 0. And this one I would just put it here to compensate for the 2. So now if I develop this, I would say 2 factor x plus 3/4 squared minus 9/8 minus 16/8 less than 0. Correct? So that means 2 factoring x plus 3/4 squared minus 25/8 is less than 0. Something we already know here. We know the vertex will be, vertex is minus 3/4 and minus 25/8. Correct? Now if we look at the graph here, we can say that the roots are negative 2 and 1/2. This is the 0. Let's see here. We have the origin here, and this is the vertex, and you see the value of this curve between these 2 points is below 0. That verify the inequation here. That's our solution is still the same. So we can either graph or use the table which is shorter, the way I showed you here. And you use this, you can use as many factors as you want. So I hope that helps you, and in the upcoming videos I will be using the tables when I have ratios and inequations involving the quadratics. Thank you for watching this, and have a good one.